G'day guys, how you doing? It's Kiwi here with another video. Actually had done a video today, downloaded into the computer, wasn't happy with it. So pretty much I spent all day today trying to put this video together. But anyway, over the last couple of videos I've had you guys asking me about how did I deal with my rage, my anger, my emotions when I was going through this phase of my life that was basically triggered by me going through my divorce in 2004. And the first thing I want to tell you, above and beyond anything else, this stuff takes time. This stuff takes work. It doesn't happen overnight. If you've got anger issues, if you've got rage issues, if you've got, serious emotional issues and everything like that, the first thing that I started doing was I actually started to seek out, help, psychological help. I went to a therapist. I had to. I was an absolute mess. I truly was. And fortunately, I found an amazing therapist. I mean, the woman, Beverly, she was literally like a modern day shaman. And the work that we did was done in a deep state of transcendental meditation. It was true, legitimate shadow work, okay? And what you do is in a deep state of meditation, you actually go inside of yourself and you do past life or life regression work where you go back into areas inside of yourself where there's pain, hurt, aches, agonies, whatever, and you work on these areas, and it's brutal work. It's brutal work. It's not for the faint of heart. And I mean, legitimate, true shadow work is brutal because you've got to go to all those places of what's happened in your past. You've got to go to those places where your parents beat the shit out of you. You got to go to those places where people abused you, physically abused you, verbally abused you, mentally abused you. And for some people, fortunately, it didn't happen to me, but for a lot of people, there's sexual abuse, there's rape, there's so many things that happen to young children at the hands of parents or supposedly trusted family members. It's unbelievable. So for me, I just had a physically abusive childhood and a verbally abusive childhood, and it was a very regular basis, like on a very regular basis. So the work that we started doing was to heal my soul, and then once that was done, we started to tie your head and your heart together. You start getting yourself lined up. And there's actually a commenter, and it was like this couple of videos ago. If I can find the comment, I'll tag it in the description section for you guys. But this gentleman was from Greece, and he's Greek Orthodox, and they actually talk about this stuff in early Greek Orthodox religious texts about healing the soul and tying the head and the heart. And he was blown away. He's like, I'm really surprised that you actually know about this stuff. And it's like, I don't know about it, I actually did it. But here's the thing, even though I did that work, it didn't fix everything. It wasn't like, oh yay, I've done this, my life's perfect. No, this life is about waking up. It's about consciousness. It's about learning. It's about continually growing. So you are continually growing. So it doesn't matter if you've done a certain element of work and then pick yourself up to this level. You're going to go to the next level. You're going to keep on growing. You're going to keep on learning. So one of the things that came out of that was, even though I'd done the work, I'd healed my soul, the bringing the head and the heart together, that took years. That's taken years. That wasn't something that just happened overnight and I'm like out there in this world. No, it's been a long process. It's been 15 years that I've been working on this stuff. So if you're a young guy and you've got rage and anger issues and out of control emotions, you got to understand, if you're going to start doing this work, it's going to take a long time. That's all there is to it. And to you older guys that are wanting to get involved or start doing this, work on healing yourself and taking care of yourself and everything like that, that's great also. However, it's still going to be a lifetime's worth of work. There's no quick fix in this world. That's why the pharmaceutical industry in the United States is so out of hand, because everybody's looking for some sort of quick fix to fix their misery, their pain, whatever. I mean, the level of irresponsibility in today's modern society is absolutely out of hand. So let's look at a couple of the different versions or a couple of the different forms of anger that we have in society today. Okay, the first form that we have is indoctrination, anger that's based around indoctrination. And that anger comes about from either, your political beliefs, your religious beliefs, how you've been indoctrinated in the school and education system, the university system. Then you've got, the early programming that went on with you, as I've described in the video, why we struggle. We become pre-programmed. Our biography or our biology becomes our biography. So we have to start to work through and reprogram ourselves. We have to literally start to dissect, why do we believe in this? Why am I believing in a political group? Why do I hate these people? You have to start asking yourself these questions. You have to start looking at these reasons. And you have to start to see and take responsibility for the fact that you've brought into this stuff. I had to. If I've been able to change my life, you can. Each and every human being on this planet has the ability to change their life. It's like I said, it's about growing. It's about increasing your awareness, your consciousness of the world around you. Because the world around you is created by you. The world that you experience is your world. The world I experience is my world. So if you've got shit going on in your life, that's what you're attracting into your life. So you need to start looking at what you are believing in. You need to start looking at what society has indoctrinated into you, what they've pre-programmed into you, the beliefs, or everything. You literally have to start reevaluating every single aspect of your life. And I mean every aspect. I still do it to this day, 100%, unequivocally. So a lot of people's anger comes from, like I said, indoctrination. People hate this religious group. People hate this political group. People hate, these people because they're a different color. It's just mind-blowing, the level of insanity that revolves around indoctrination and around how we become pre-programmed. The other really big, just to finish off on the indoctrination thing, there's nothing more powerful right now than the horse shit that revolves around the university system. It's just completely out of hand, So another form of rage that we can look at is projection, where people project their bullshit onto other people. And that comes out of people, if you get in an argument with people, if there's somebody that you don't like, let's say you're having a conversation with somebody of another political belief system, and you're sitting there, you're a piece of shit, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, you're a goddamn loser. If those words are coming out, if you're telling somebody else that they're a piece of shit, that they're a loser, that they don't know what they're talking about, what you're doing is, to a guy like me, you're telling me everything about yourself. You're telling me that you feel that you're a loser. You're telling me that you believe that you don't know what you're talking about. You're telling me all these things about yourself, because that's your shadow. That's the rage and the anger from the pre-programming of your soul, because your soul's your shadow. Your shadow is this entity that lives inside of you, that is a part of you. Carl Jung talked about it all the time. Once you've done deep, transcendental, meditative shadow work, and you've had to drop into the bowels of fucking hell, literally, you come out of that looking at the world in a whole different way. And you start to look at men and women in a whole different way. But that's for another video. So the reality of the situation is that if you are projecting shit onto another person, you need to use that as a tool. You need to take a step back from yourself, and you need to start to listen to what you're saying to those other people. Because the moment you get triggered, the moment you're going into rage, the moment you're wanting to attack somebody that's done absolutely nothing to you other than stand there and, argue with you about your beliefs, you need to look at yourself. You need to listen to what you're saying to that person and go, why do I hate myself? Why do I think I'm a loser? Why do I think I'm a dirtbag? What is it about me, inside of me, that is so angry and so hate-filled towards these other people? Because you'll start to see it. You'll start to see it all around you. You'll start to see the rage and the anger in everybody. You start to see how people, especially in the US right now, holy shit, I feel sorry for Americans. I mean, that country's a mess. It's unbelievable. Fuck. But what happens is you'll see other people when they're in a state of rage and what they're saying to another person or another individual. And all they're doing is they're just projecting. They're projecting their wounding. They're projecting the wounding of the shadow onto other people. It's literally a cry for help. But the ego covers, the mask of the ego covers over this stuff so well that the majority of people don't even realize that they're doing it. They think that this is a normal state to be in. So what happens is you end up, the moment you start noticing the shadow, the moment you start noticing your wounding, there's going to start to become a shift in your life. Because you're letting the ego know, I'm watching you, I'm listening to you, I'm hearing you. So there's going to become this internal fight inside of yourself, and that's when life gets difficult. I mean, it becomes a real battle of the wills inside of you. It's the bizarrest thing out. However, when you start to examine the indoctrination, you start to realize how much you've been lied to and everything like that, you can start to look at, you'll be angry. But after a while, you start to realize it's like, there's nothing you can do about this shit. I mean, that's all there is to it. I mean, I heard something from a Ukrainian woman many years ago, in 2009. And I was having one of my pity parties. I was like, yeah, you just don't know what I've been through. You just don't know what I've experienced. Yeah. I was having this Lawrence pity party. And this gal says to me, she goes, Lawrence, if it's not fatal, it's no big deal. Why do you worry? The person hasn't done anything to you. And I was like, shit, she's right. And the reality of the situation is that if it's not fatal, it's no big deal. If somebody there is going off on you, if somebody there is projecting their rage onto you, take a step back. Give it a shot. Seriously. I've been in situations where one just happened recently. The person was getting really pissed off with me and angry. But here's the thing. At a deeper intrinsic level, a person who's full of rage or anger, when they're trying to bestow that onto somebody else, and that person takes a step, like I literally took a couple of steps back, and I must have got a look in my eye or something, and the individual realized that it was like, uh-oh, I've actually started to pull my shit on somebody that I really shouldn't have pulled my shit on, and they walked off. I didn't walk off, they walked off. And as they walked off, I was like, hey, come here. And they carried on walking because they didn't want to show themselves to me. That would have been the worst thing that individual could have done, was to show themselves to me, because that's what they're getting ready to do. And all that they're going to do was they were just going to show their ignorance towards this specific situation, which, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Everybody's ignorant in some way, shape, or form. So, you know, you have to start to really separate yourself from yourself. You have to start to look at yourself from... I told a friend of mine this once. I said to him, when you're at home, if you can, in your mind's eye, pretend like you're looking down on your house and you're looking at yourself interacting with your wife. I said, if you can do that, let me know what you see. And about a few days later, he comes to me and goes, I'm getting a divorce. Fuck this shit. So if you can separate yourself and start to look at yourself and look at the world, look at the people you're associating with, look at the people that you're gravitating to, look at everything in your life. Start taking inventory and responsibility for the world around you, because that world that is around you, you've created. You've created that world. So by taking stock, by looking at the friends, by looking at your habits, by looking at, what you're doing and how you do it, that will start to tell you just how fucked up or how not fucked up you actually are. You can start to look at the areas where, okay, I can make an improvement here. I can get rid of these people. I need to make an inventory of everything. Make a list of your friends. Look at the positive and negative sides of the people that you're involved with. Look at the positive and negative sides of everything that you're doing. And start to look at how you can change your life. Start to separate yourself from yourself, especially the negative stuff. And by doing that, you're literally, letting your ego, you're basically your ego, you're letting it know that you're aware of its bullshit. So, these are some of the things that I've done over the last 15 years to actually look at being able to change my life, at being able to improve my situation, what worked for me, what doesn't work for me. Because the more you can have stuff working for you, the more you can have stuff going your way. And I don't mean the way of your ego, I mean the way of your will, God's will, your soul's will inside of you. The more you have stuff going that way for yourself, the happier you're going to become. And the happier you become, the better person you're going to become, is in regards to how you deal with society and everything like that. So, if any of this has helped in any way, shape or form, give it a thumbs up, pound the subscribe button, and I'll talk to you later. All right? That's the video. Cheers.